Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the regularly scheduled meeting of the Board of Public Works for today, Monday, April 11th, 2016.
Commissioner Davis, Rodriguez, James, Repenning, and Jacinto are present. President James, we have a quorum. May we start with Bureau introductions, please, starting with Bureau of Sanitation.
Good morning, Khalil Garrios, Bureau of Sanitation.
Good morning, Jose Fuentes, Bureau of Engineering.
Good morning, Hannah Choi, Bureau of Contract Administration.
Good morning, Eddie Chavez, Bureau of Street Lighting.
Good morning, Lance Oishi with the Bureau of Street Services.
Good morning, Ted Jordan, Public Works General Counsel.
Fernando Campos, Executive Officer. President James, we did not receive any speaker cards under general public comment. However, we did receive a speaker card under item number 2 for today's agenda.
Okay, thank you. We'll close general public comment. First of all, let's go to agenda item number 5. Evans Sandblasting Corporation, doing business as Western Sandblasting Company, has transmitted a stop notice in the amount of $2,000 against Heat Transfer Solutions in connection with the emergency on-call Hyperion Treatment Plant cryogenic system repair project. The contractor's PPC Construction. Is there a second to my motion that we receive number 5 forthwith? By Commissioner Rodriguez. Any objection? Without objection, we will do so. Agenda item number 4. BAS Engineering Incorporated has transmitted a stop notice in the amount of $11,730.49 against Solex Energies and Electronics Incorporated in connection with the Department of Water and Power LaCretz Innovation Campus Project. The contractor is USS Cal Builders Incorporated. Is there a second to my motion that we receive number 4 forthwith? By Commissioner Rodriguez. Any objection? Without objection, we will do so. Agenda item number 3, BAS Engineering has transmitted the release of a stop notice in the amount of $1,553.85 against Solex Electronics Incorporated in connection with the LAPD Metropolitan Division Police Facility Project, the contractor Sinanian Development Incorporated. Is there a second to my motion that we receive number 3 forthwith? By Commissioner Rodriguez. Any objection? Without objection, we will do so. Agenda item number 2, Council District 11, recommending the board approve the request for a variance from the height limitation requirements and approve the request for a hardship waiver from the below grade requirement of the above ground facilities ordinance and allow Verizon to install a 38.5 high monopole in the public right-of-way adjacent to 1233 East Rose Avenue. We have a speaker card on number 2. Mr. Searcy?
Mr. Chairman and Commissioners, my name is Rob Searcy. I'm with Prescott Communications representing Verizon Wireless. I just basically wanted to come up and ask for a continuance again on this project. We're still working through some issues, trying to find a custom design that might be acceptable in quality and aesthetic treatment in order to fit in this very small right-of-way. We also have a request from the council office for communications, and that came in on Friday. So I'd like to set up an appointment with them, discuss these issues with them before I come back to the board with the final design.
So, Mr. Searcy, what, another 2 weeks, or what would you think?
I would hope 2 weeks would do it, yes, sir.
Okay. So 2 weeks from today, Mr. Campos, is the April 25th?
That is correct.
Okay, we have a meeting that day? Not a holiday or anything?
Yes, that's a regular day.
Then any problem with continuing to the 25th? We'll continue it to April 25th.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Agenda item number 1. Bureau of Engineering for Council District 15. The agenda item says 14. It's Council District 15. Recommending the board authorize a revised construction budget in the amount of $432,990 and authorize the city engineer to issue a revised construction order to Matthew and Stewart Company Incorporated to change the scope of work to replace the existing sewer using pipe bursting methods in connection with the super expedited wastewater emergency rehabilitation for sewers program. That's the sewers program at First Street project. No speaker cards. Mr. Louie on number 1.
Good morning. My name is Richard, and I am the project manager for the Sewers 5 contract. This board, as you read, is recommending to approve a revised construction budget of $432,990 and to authorize the city engineer to issue a revised construction order for the project. I'll give the background again, but if you would rather me just skip it, let me know. The Sewers 5 contract is a unit price contract which is intended for the urgent repair of damaged sewers. The work is issued to 2 pre-qualified contractors through a series of construction orders as sewers are identified by the Bureau of Sanitation as requiring urgent repairs. For each construction order, the engineer selects the contractor with the lowest quantity takeoff for the cost estimate for the work, based on unit prices which was submitted by the contractor in their statement of qualifications at the request for qualification stage. The sewers program has the authority to issue each construction order up to $100,000 for the total cost, which is the construction order plus any change orders. So the First Street 200 project is located in San Pedro, and the scope of work is to remove and replace 240 feet of an existing 8-inch sewer. During the design phase, a quantity takeoff, or QTO for short, was generated, and Matthew and Stewart Company, MASCO for short, was determined to be the lowest contractor. Therefore, the construction order was issued to Matthew and Stewart Company, MASCO, for $60,050. Since the project is located in San Pedro, it was decided to perform 2 soil borings to investigate the soil conditions prior to beginning construction. Based on the soil borings, it was determined that the soil is loose, sandy soil conditions, so poor soil. The existing sewer is located at a depth approximately 24 to 34 feet deep, which is quite deep. And the traditional open trenching method to remove and place the sewer in this loose and sandy soil conditions would be extremely costly and would have a high impact to the community. Therefore, it was decided to change the method of construction to a method called pipe bursting. And if you'd like, I can go more into that method. Would you like me to go more into what that method is?
Go ahead.
Okay. My colleague here is going to pass out a little diagram which helps to show what the pipe bursting method is.
Thank you.
So, the pipe bursting method is a trenchless method of replacing buried pipes. With the pipe bursting, the contractor has an entry pit and an exit pit. They place the pipe bursting tool into the entry pit, and then they place a winch and a cable at the exit pit. And with this winch, they pull the pipe bursting tool through the existing sewer. So rather than have an open trench for 240 feet of pipe, you have just an entry pit and an exit pit, and then the winch pulls the tool through the existing pipe. As the pipe bursting tool is pulled through the existing sewer, it bursts or it breaks the existing pipe and then pushes that pipe into the soil. And then the pipe bursting tool is pulled from the entry to the exit pit. And as the tool is pulled, an HDPE pipe is attached to that tool, and it follows the pipe bursting tool until it gets to the exit pit. So that's why they call it a trenchless method, and it has less impact from having this 240 foot of 35 foot deep trench impacting the community. So that's the method that was chosen as the alternative to open trench. So the engineer requested the contractor to provide a lump sum cost proposal to pipe burst the 240 foot length of reach and reconnect 7 house connections. And the lump sum proposal came up to $598,380. Due to this high cost proposal received, the engineer directed the contractor to investigate the depth of the 7 house connections. It was anticipated if the house connections were shallower, we might build a local sewer first, and then we wouldn't have to reconnect these 7 house connections at a depth of 35 feet deep, which would save us money. Based on that investigation, it was determined that only 1 of the 7 house connections is still active. The other 6 have been abandoned. They're not active anymore. So therefore, the engineer compiled a revised bid package, and this time we requested both sewers contractors, both Matthew and Stewart Company and Tomovich, to submit a lump sum cost proposal for the work. And based on the cost proposals from both contractors, Matthew and Stewart Company is the lowest bidder in the amount of $360,825 for the work. Change orders may also be required to compensate for different site conditions during construction. Therefore, it's requested for an additional contingency of $72,165. So in summary, it's requested to authorize the city engineer to issue a revised construction order to Matthew and Stewart Company in the amount of $360,825, with a contingency of $72,165 for a total revised construction budget of $432,990.
Commissioner Rodriguez.
Thank you, Richard. I actually am familiar with the pipe bursting because I had to do that on my lateral line at home.
Oh, okay.
So I think the trenchless method is preferable. My question is, what is the lifespan of the new pipe as a result of doing a trenchless model versus doing the excavation?
Our design criteria when we install new pipe is for a life of 100 years.
Okay.
100 years?
100 years.
And so on the properties, what is the situation with these properties that you say the lateral lines were abandoned?
We did some investigation into where those 6 house connections went, and we found out that they must have had a development where they installed some apartments. And when they installed those apartments, they created a new local sewer which connected to the downstream reach. That's why those 6 house connections are no longer active.
Okay, thank you.
So this will be for one property?
No, the main sewer in the street services several properties upstream. So the main sewer continues to service many.
This just has the direct connection to 7, but only
Yes.
6 have ceased use.
Yes, within the 240-foot reach, only one house connection is there. But upstream of that, many other house connections are connected to the sewer.
Okay, so we'll get more of a benefit than this from just the one
Yes.
to the house. Okay.
Yes.
That's helpful.
Okay.
Thank you.
And one more question. How frequently have we utilized this method as opposed to doing the trenching?
It's not utilized on Sewers 5 very much at all. This will be the first time actually in the past 3 years we've used it.
It's because it's the first time I've heard. So is there a reason why this method hasn't been utilized more often? Is it just cost? What's the...
On the trench bursting method, it's really a site-specific or project-specific design. And so for the Sewers 5 program, because it's designed as a unit price contract with a 5-year duration all over the city of Los Angeles, we couldn't put a bid item for pipe bursting into the contract because each location kind of differs little bit by little bit.
Sure.
So for
Well,
this
I have
one,
to imagine there's other kind of infrastructure that might be impacted if we do pipe bursting versus trenching and working around some of these
Right.
items as well. So,
Yeah.
okay,
Thank you, Commissioner Rodriguez. Commissioner Jacinto.
Thank you, President James. Richard, thank you. What happened to your leg?
I twisted my ankle this weekend.
Football. Okay. You know, the trenchless, I thought we had talked about the fact that there was loose and sandy soil that we would have to shore up. So obviously the cost involved in being able to shore up both sides
Yes.
as opposed to this trenchless, it made much more sense. So it's the best way to go in terms
It's
of
very high to do the
efficiency.
shoring of the trenches, and it would also have a huge impact to the community because you have to put a lot more steel beams out there, a lot more excavation, a lot more work.
This is the best cost-saving
Yes.
way to repair that. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Is there a motion on agenda item number 1 by Commissioner Rodriguez? Commissioner Davis, you have a question?
Yeah, I just wanted a point of clarification. You mentioned that we did change the plans, obviously, after we discovered that there were some unused lines. And so my question, a point of clarification is that as a result of us doing this contract over, it's much cheaper than our original plan.
Yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Thank you. Commissioner Rodriguez has made a motion, seconded by Commissioner Jacinto. Any objection? Without objection, we'll adopt agenda item number 1. Any problem sending it forthwith? We'll send number 1 forthwith. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Look forward to getting you back on your 2 legs there, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Is there a second to my motion that we approve the meeting minutes from the meeting of Monday, March 21, 2016 by Commissioner Rodriguez? Any objection? Without objection, we'll approve those meeting minutes. Mr. Campos, have we cleared the desk?
Yes, you have.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. We are adjourned.